Okay, I'm gonna start the reading vlog here because otherwise I'm never gonna start it. It's Sunday, it's a gloomy, dreary day outside, but perfect lighting, I will say, for filming. So I am almost finished. This is my current read. I'm almost finished with If We Were Villains by ML Rio. I'm up to page 288 out of, I think, 358. 358? 358. Try not to look at the ending. So yeah, the plan is I want to finish this today, and then I'm planning on picking up 2 non-fiction books tomorrow, and I thought I would vlog me delving into them. I don't remember the last time I read non-fiction, maybe a memoir, but yeah, so I'm trying to get back into it. I feel like now that I'm not in school, I need something educational on the side or something to keep my brain ticking. But yeah, this is my update. I'm really enjoying this. I think I'll talk about this book in another video when I'm discussing like dark academia, murder mystery kind of books. But yeah, so far this book is it's just one of those books where if I pick it up and I read, I don't feel how much I've read until I close the book and then I see it, and that's a really good feeling because it means it's so good. And I also feel like the writing is getting better and better and better. So yeah, I'm trying to finish it today. I think I should be able to, unless something gets in my way. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this vlog, and yeah. So I'm gonna quickly update you guys on what's happened. It's actually been, I think, a week since I last updated you. So I finished If We Were Villains, and I returned it to the library and everything, and I picked up some new books. So I'm actually currently reading this. This is Virginia Woolf's A Room of One's Own, and this is actually non-fiction. So as I said before, I'm trying to read a little bit more non-fiction, so I've picked up a few different options. I've already started a few pages in. I've started annotating. Feels like I'm back in school setting again, but there's just so many, like, it's just so interesting. It is a little bit convoluted. I can give a quick recap of what this is about. Essentially, Virginia Woolf gave a talk, I think, a lecture at Cambridge in 1928, and she was asked to talk about women and fiction. And so this is sort of a succinct version of this lecture she gave, I believe. So far it's been sort of her trying to understand the question and the topic of women and fiction, and yeah, just exploring women's role in society, and why maybe it's harder for women to be writers and so on and so forth. So I've been really enjoying it. I'm not going to say too much, but there is clearly a few tabs because there's been some really crazy moments in this book, and I'm really enjoying it. It is a non-fiction book, so it is not like a cozy story or something that I could sit down and just binge, but it's been really eye-opening, and I really, really, really am enjoying it. But yeah, I am just loving a lot of the, like, what life was like for a woman basically at that point in time, because she does just share a lot of her everyday life, and to her it's probably like, this is just my life, but to me, as someone who's existing 100 years later, it's very it's so interesting to see the scope of there's a bird on that roof, sorry, I got distracted. It's just so interesting to see the role of women, and I'm not far in as well, so I don't know where this is going to take me, but it's just really small things, but there's just so much to it. So I also picked this up. It comes with this essay as well as one of her, I think it's her first fictional story, her first novel, The Voyage Out. So I may get into this as well. It is a little intense, like, look how small that text is. Yeah, my eyesight is not getting any better, I'm not gonna lie, with reading this tiny text. But yeah, I also have picked this up. The novel wasn't really something I was planning on reading, but if I get to it, I get to it, so I also have that. So that's my Sunday update. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to end off this really long reading vlog. This has been going on for weeks at this point, but that's okay because I've been making my way through the books. I realize I haven't even introed this book that I am almost finished with, so I thought I'd just quite literally tell you what I've been reading after I read A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. Finished that, obviously thought it was insane, it was incredible, and I returned it. But this is what I've been reading for the past 2 weeks maybe. This is Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. I basically, when I was looking for my non-fiction reads, I just tried to Google popular psychology books because I thought that would be interesting topic, kind of relevant to everyday life, because it's just about the way people think, and I feel like that's relevant to anybody, any human being. So this was one of the popular ones. I picked it up. I don't think I fully I just thought, oh, it's a popular book, I'll just read it because it seems to be really good. It has been surprisingly entertaining. I did not expect that from this book. The best way I can describe this book is like the information you gain. It's like you're reading a textbook, but it doesn't feel like you're reading a textbook, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'll give a quick recap as to what this book is about. Basically, this book is written by a psychologist, a professional, and he has spent years of research trying to understand all of the tactics professionals use to get you to do what they want. So this is typically like salespeople, any compliance professional, the tactics that they use. And he's gone undercover, he's worked in different industries, and he reveals what he calls weapons of influence. So these weapons of influence are basically, there's, how many? Is there 6? Is there 6? Yeah. So there's 6 universal principles that he goes through, and each one is based on sort of a core human psychology. He then goes into how these professionals leverage the human psychology and the way we just respond instinctively to things to get you to do what they want. There's also a section on, usually each chapter has a section on how to resist, or like how not to fall down this rabbit hole, or how not to fall victim to these tactics, so that's always helpful. I think the reason this book is so, I guess, easy to read and fly through and entertaining is because there's loads of examples. There is so many examples in terms of personal examples that the author has gone through. There's experiments that have been done and that prove his point. There is historical examples. There's just so many fascinating stories in there, and I feel like it just makes the book flow really well. I mean, talking about flow, the writing structure and the writing is just done in such an effortless way. I feel like that's why it's so easy to read it as well. And yeah, the stories just help so much. But yeah, I've been really loving it. I feel like it seems like a book that's not relevant for people, but when you read it, I feel like you learn so much about, unless you're in these industries, you just wouldn't know. So yeah, I just feel like I learned so much. The only thing that I would say, it's not a super big negative, it's just like a small point, I guess. This book was published, I think, when was it published? It was published in the 80s. I doubt that it has been rewritten. It's been published a bunch of other times. basically, my point is some of the examples are quite dated in this book. There's a lot of examples. Main examples, I would say, are about salespeople coming to your door, people calling you up on the phone, asking you to take a survey, people actually taking the surveys and participating, which I don't think happens anymore. I remember door-to-door salesmen when I was younger, but it doesn't really happen anymore, to me anyway. I don't know, maybe it happens in other places and whatnot, but you can tell like this book was written a long time ago, but I don't feel like it really affects the whole point that he's trying to make. I feel like the psychology of how humans work is still very much the same. I'm sure someone is still trying to sell you something in today's age. It's probably just happening online, and all these tactics probably will be used. So yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's just more towards the end of the book I was like, okay, like these examples are not really happening to me. But there's still loads of relevant ones, like if you're going to buy a car and the things they do to try and get you to buy the car that they want. Yeah, just loads of things like that. So it was very interesting. There was a few examples on cults, which I find so interesting. That was insane to read. Yeah, it was incredible. I will say, I feel like some of the tactics that or the principles I should say, that he talks about, they seem common sense. Like what's a good example? One of the weapons of influence that compliance professionals use is the idea of reciprocation. So for example, as humans, if someone does a favor for us, we feel like we really need to repay that favor no matter what. And sometimes people can leverage that when they're selling something. And it kind of is like, yeah, obviously, like that's pretty obvious. You might just think, oh, I'll just easily not repay a favor if it's something they're trying to get out of me. But through his explanations, through his examples, like real life situations and real life organizations that have used tactics, you understand like the subtle nature that these tricks are used on people. And when they're used, it's when you're not really paying attention, it's when you're more focused on something else, it's when you're tired or frustrated or etc. It's just, yeah, it's a bit more subtle and sneaky and less conspicuous, and you only realize maybe after the fact. So you're like, hang on a second, like I didn't want to have this thing, or I didn't want to buy that, or so yeah, the book has been incredible. I feel like I'm on the last chapter and I'm nearly done. I'm gonna stop yammering away. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I hope you enjoyed coming on this little mini journey of me reading more non-fiction books, because I have definitely enjoyed it. I feel like they're great palette cleansers. If I'm in the middle of a huge series, I feel like this is going to be a perfect detour for me if I ever need a palette cleanser. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in my next video, and yeah, see you guys.